today is about where do I begin? Our 10 minutes for me. So we're going to jump right into it. I recognize that for some, we're going to be doing some chat. So I would just encourage you to go ahead and be ready to enter some things into the chat. I'll be asking you some questions and I want you to be able to be responsive. So feel free to enter things into the chat. A little bit about myself. I'm Andrew Kirkland. I'm the CEO of Creative Mindset Consulting. And we work with nonprofits all around the world, but specifically more here in the DC region. And I've spent my time working with nonprofits internationally as well as nationally, building organizations. And so I'm excited. I have a degree in communications. I'm excited to be able to be here with you all for 10 minutes. Just really quickly, I'll just ask it in the chat. You just tell me your name, your grade, your school, where you're coming from. And then if you can, and we won't wait for everybody, I'll just give you a few seconds to be able to do this. But think about a theme song that you play when you walk into the room. Think about the first day of school. What was the theme song you had in your head that you were playing when you walked into the room? A big part of my theme songs have been really... and I see someone said the chat is disabled, so we'll get that working for you. So I know for me, sometimes I've been starting out, and Beyonce has been a big part of my theme song. And all the theme songs of Beyonce is in my head. I'm walking into the room. So wherever you're walking into the room, what's a theme song that you're playing in your head? And so this give you just a few seconds for us to put our answers in the chat. And I believe the chat should be working for you all now.
Actually, Mr. Kirkland, we're working on that, but they can go ahead and put it in the Q&A.
Cool. Put it in the Q&A. That is... Okay, I see Brick House. That's exciting. I love that. Someone put that in the Q&A. Let's get a few more folks before we move on. I'm Every Woman. I love that. Through the Wire, Frederick Douglass High School. And then Beat It to Michael Jackson. I love these theme songs. This is exciting. This is how we do it. I love that. I Believe. I love that song. I Care by Beyonce. Okay. Awesome. All right. Thank y'all for those who have put it in there. And you can still add yours in as we go along. But it seems like we have a pretty diverse group of people from different schools, different grades, and also different songs, right? That I think is really cool. All right, so really quick question. Again, you can put it in the Q&A, or if the chat is working, you're more than welcome to put it into that. How many rectangles do you see? How many rectangles do you see? Just type your answer into the Q&A or into the chats. Totally fine. I said someone says they see 17. I see someone else said 29. Let's see what else folks think. Say, I see 18, 16, 17, 43, 21. I love that. 16. 18. That's great. So one of the reasons why we do this exercise is to first start us and ground us to realizing what we see about ourselves, right? And so the question is, how many rectangles do you see? There is a right number of how many that's there, but the question really is about how many of them do you see, right? And so sometimes in this work, as we're going about life, we've got to get really clear about what we see, what our perspective is, what our viewpoint is, and not look at everything else around us, but getting clear about what it is that we see. And when we go into this next activity, I'm going to be asking you to be thinking a little bit about you and what you see for your future. So really quickly in the chat, if you would think about reading the Washington Post or the New York Times or whatever major newspaper you're going to read, or looking online. And I want you to think about that, and think about think about 4 years from now, you're featured in the Washington Post and New York Times. What would you want that article to say about you? What is the thing 4 years from now? Think 4 years from now. What would you want an article featured in the paper to say about you? Give yourself just a few seconds, and I want you to type some of your thoughts into the chat. So think about it 4 years from now. What do I want something to say about me? What do I want the paper? What do I want an article that's featured to say about me? Paris, I love that. A new actress starting her debut. I love that. And I see someone else saying that they would want the article to say that they are amazing and an interesting person. A kind, a caring, compassionate, and innovator. Let's get a few more. Kind and friendly. Soccer player making the debut in European Soccer Club, and helpful and welcoming. That's great. One of the things that we want to think about at this stage now, with all that's happening in the world and all that's happening in our schools and our local community, is really getting focused as to what you want in your life to come, right? And as high school students, as middle school students, this is a great time for you to be focused in on what in 4 years, what does it look like for me, right? And really getting focused and staying focused on that goal, because life will have us, moving and being tossed around, and we will sometimes lose focus of that goal. And so I want you to be thinking about that as you're going into school, into after school clubs and things that you're involved in. Like, what do I want people to say about me 4 years from now? And am I tracking towards that goal? Am I getting to where I need to be? And if so, celebrate yourself. And if not, course correct. Go back and figure out, how best do I get back to the place that I want to be, that celebrates myself. Okay. And so I know we're right up on time. And so I want this video, you can find this video on YouTube, as well as we will send it out to you. But I want you to be thinking about, this is a video from Oprah that talks about how life whispers to us. And as you go through the next couple weeks of your life, I want you to be thinking about how life is whispering to you, how there are little clues that have been left behind for you about your destiny and about how you walk into that destiny. And so be really really thoughtful about that as you go into this next week, as you go into the next weeks of your life. Make sure that you're thinking about what you want people to say about you 4 years from now, what that article should read, but also think about what are the little droplets that are being left for you, right? What are the breadcrumbs that are kind of getting you to the space that you want to be? And that really is going to be the thing that helps you really move towards your goals and towards your destiny. It's remembering that life always whispers to us. There's always little nuggets left on our trail telling us which way to go. But we have to be mindful. We have to be able to listen. We have to be able to be intuitive enough to listen to that and to follow that, so that way we can reach our true and full destiny. Thank y'all so much for allowing me to have this 10 minutes with you all. And I'm hoping that this will be recorded, this will be sent out to you all, so you'll have it. But thank you all for allowing me to be able to come and share some 10 minutes of motivation. I hope that you'll go into this next week thinking about your destiny, thinking about your goals, and remembering that life always whispers to us. So be mindful of the little breadcrumbs that have been left behind. Okay, so go in peace, stay dry. Thank y'all.